Hey everybody, it is the Angry Honey Badger here, and it's time for Patch Notes 5.5. Joining me is Kai. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Patch 5.5. Many changes, new items, champions, nerfs, tweaks, buffs, corrections, and the addition of Bard, the caretaker who wanders. The caretaker who is going to get his lane partner killed a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't over roam. Be careful about that. So yeah, he'll be coming out later on in this patch. And that's yeah, he's fun. Yeah, nailed it. First off though, when it comes to champion changes, it's not a patch unless Azir's involved. Number 11.
This is 11.
11 in a row. But actual changes are happening this time. He's getting some buffs. His base attack speed is going up a little bit, and his soldier attack range is going up. The spear pass-through rate is being reduced, but its total range is unchanged because of the attack range on them going up. I think he's actually in an okay spot, so buffs are fine, whatever.
Yeah, the good Azir players didn't really fall off that much with all of the changes, and the bad Azir players don't play Azir anymore. So
Yep.
buffs are good
Yeah.
because you want to be able to pick up a champion and play it and not be like completely dumpstered, you know? So I think this is good. Get him in a good spot.
I did, yeah, exactly that. Good Azir players didn't. It'll just help them a little bit, if anything, but bad ones might be able to play them a little bit better.
But at the same time, 0.025 attack speed isn't that big of a deal.
No, it's just to help with other little niche things. So
Yep.
it's whatever. It's Azir getting a fix. It's nothing new. Next we have Gangplank, little bug fist on that Grog Soak Blade. Fix bug where the slow immune targets were also unaffected by the dot.
That was really annoying. I went through a support Gangplank phase that you know of.
You did.
And that happened all the time. So I'm glad that this isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, me too. Gragas is next on the chopping block for not really getting chopped, but he gets actually more mana at level 1, which I'm actually a big fan of. His base mana is 100 higher now, and his Drunken Rage has a little bit higher damage camp versus Monster. So, not game-changing changes, but I think the 100 extra mana is pretty nice on him.
And the damage versus monsters helps as well. Just as we'll see later in the patch, he could be like a tanky CC monster kind of guy if you wanted to go that way with him in the jungle.
Yep. We're going to see that in a minute. We have Karma next. Defiance. Bug fix where allied champions were granted the Inspire portion of the shield instead of half of the Defiance damage. Who would have known?
I didn't know that Karma was a champion.
I actually think she's fun.
I know.
Next we have Karthus Wall of Pain. Fix a bug where enemy champions could sometimes dash through the Wall of Pain without being slowed. Outrageous, Riot. Outrageous. So that's a good bug fix, because I think we've probably seen this a bit more with champions like Graves getting played more. If you could just do dash through it and not get slowed, that's kind of OP. So
pretty annoying too if you're playing Karthus.
Yeah, super annoying. And we've been seeing him come back up in popularity a little bit, thanks to Xiao Zhao for flawless games on him. Whew, so pretty. I said something about Karthus not that long ago, and I was like, people have underutilized him, and I think I said it in Badgers picks like 2 weeks ago. I was like, nobody's buying MR. Why don't we just play Karthus? And guess what? I'm not gonna say I predict things, but
I think he fits really well into the current meta, just because you have like wombo combo teams like Gnar and Jarvan, or like just like team fight comps.
Everything's team fight comp, and he is a team fight comp because when he dies, he still fights.
He's just a monster. Yeah.
So it always works. He always does damage. Next on our thing is, of course, Kassadin. Updated the model and textures, animation, slight VFX changes to base and all skins, new ability icon, so he's getting a nice little VFX. And his Rift Walk is going to get a cooldown reduction, and the range on it's going up a little bit, just a little bit. He's getting 50 back, and the mana cost is going to be decreased a little bit. So I personally think this will fix his Rift Walk issues a decent amount. But I still think the range thing still is just impossibly hard to get over from what it was. I do like it going down to 2 seconds, though. I'm a big fan of that. He'll get a jump around a lot. So,
well, we kind of talked about this before we turned on the video, and he went from 48% run rate in rank to now he's at 35. And so, like, obviously what they did to his ultimate basically killed his kit, and like I think they're just going to consistently just like kind of creep back to what it was, or like not get there, but just like until they get it to a spot where they actually like it, and he's actually not just this like a huge hunk of purple crap.
Yeah, I agree with that. The only problem they're going to run into is no one will be playing him because of these changes, and they'll bring him up slowly and slowly and slowly, and then people will figure out that he's actually really strong again, and then they'll do it right over again.
Yep, that's basically the cycle of Kassadin.
Yeah, just remember Kassadin had like the 99% ban rate in rank though in the LCS for like 50 weeks. It was so stupid.
And now he's like.
And now now he's not
on the same level as Urgot.
He was getting banned a little bit and picked a little bit, which I actually thought he was in a good spot. But now he's like, if you waste a ban on him, that'd be hilarious. And if you picked him, you're probably not gonna win. So
yeah.
Next we have
Sandra. We have Spaghetti.
I was just reading some on there. Ice Shard damage being reduced at all levels. Mostly late game. A little bit early, obviously, but it's a little bit more late game. Is it adequate? She's strong. If this is how they want to fix her, okay. So.
But, I don't know. In my opinion, Lissandra's strength doesn't come from her Q damage.
It doesn't.
Her strength comes from her insane ability to team fight in the mid and late game. So
I think it's part of it, but this
you'd have to have her. Like, she has such a bully mentality in lane because she can just spam the shit out of Q, and it chunks you from, They need to tweak her passive. They need to tweak her passive and or mana cost and or cooldown, not the damage. That's not the problem. Yeah. I agree. It's one of those things. I think they're thinking this will help with that, so it won't feel like you're getting hurt as much when you're getting spammed, but it's 5 damage.
Yeah, it's not. That's why I said I don't think it matters. But next is Nautilus. Now, on his Titan's Wrath, the damage on that is being reduced, and the ratio of the maxed health is actually going to start a little bit higher early and then stay the same as it goes up. So they're kind of taking damage off of it, but what they're doing is they're moving some of it over to Riptide, where it's going to get actual cooldown as it goes on, which is great, and it starts out lower. The cost of it also cheaper. The ability power ratio is getting reduced, but no big deal. If you're building AP Nautilus, there's something wrong with you. And then slow duration's being decreased a little bit, but that's because it'll be up twice as often. So
I said I didn't like this at the beginning, and I actually kind of changed it because, like, now that I actually look at it, they're not really hurting W's damage in the early game, so you're still probably going to put 3, maybe 4 points in W to be your jungle clear.
Yeah.
And then
at least
max E.
I'd put 2 points at least in it.
2 points?
At least.
Cool. Yeah, well, because the damage is going to be about the same if you mix in percentage health against jungle minions, and then transition that into start maxing Q after you get those 2 points in W. So I don't know, he's going to be helped from the items and stuff that they're doing to the jungle, but still probably not a top tier jungler, but he'll be a close.
A better jungler than where he's currently at.
He'll be better.
I think another thing that's another thing though I think is underestimated about Nautilus right now is his hook is the easiest of the 3 hooks in the game. It's the widest. It's huge.
Yeah, and it can use it for more than that reason.
Yes.
You can use it on terrain and stuff. So that's good, but it also, I don't know, it puts you, it's not like a pole or when Thresh goes in, Thresh sets up team fights and it's a 3-second stun, and his is just so quick to me that in my opinion it's not as good as Blitz's or Thresh's hook, but it is easier to hit.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That makes sense.
I'll go with it. Yeah, it's easier to hit, but it's not maybe quite as rewarding as the other two.
It's not as impactful, yeah.
Yeah. Although if they're running away, it is pretty good on a chase. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Especially because it's not that's not a huge cooldown, and you can use it on terrain and bridge the gap a little bit, which you can't do with the other 2 champions.
Yeah.
So
it's a little bit different, which is nice. They're not all the same, which is really cool. Next, we have the Nidalee on the W, the Bushwhack. We have the damage on this getting changed in a weird way. This is really hard to read. So it was 10 to 100 plus 10 / all the way up to 18% with a 0.02 ability power ratio, but that was the current health of it. It's a mess. Now it's just 40 scaling up to 200 with a 0.2 ability power magic damage.
So basically, they just took off the percentage health damage.
Yes, because it was
Which
murdering through the jungle.
Yep, it's very good.
Yeah.
But let's be real, not what they need to do to fix Nidalee.
Not the full thing, but hopefully this will cause
They
people
need
to think
change
twice.
her kitty form W. She shouldn't be able to jump every 2 seconds, especially when you can get it like a reset.
Yes.
Like, they just need to like increase it to 8 seconds and leave it flat. So it's like more of a you go in, you stay in kind of a thing. Not you go in, you come out, you go in, you go out.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, because she can close huge gaps to get in. So that's why I think
especially, yeah, if they're marked. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they need to change that. Next, Rek'Sai. Just tunnel count now uses the ward spawning UI to show the number of existing tunnels versus the maximum, as well as displaying which tunnel will be destroyed once you've reached the limit.
So quality of life.
Yeah, really. I mean, not a huge thing, but yeah, quality of life. Here's a big one, I think, next, actually, that I think has been nerfed off before, if I'm correct in thinking, a long time ago. Shyvana's Flame Breath, the marked damage now, instead of 2% per health auto, it's now 2.5. So 0.5 more damage, percentage health.
So she's very useful, obviously, in team fights when she goes into dragon form and sprays Flame Breath over the entire team.
Mm-hmm.
And like they nerfed that so hard. It was like what, in season 3 that they did that, or was it season 4?
I think it was the beginning of 4.
And this will bring some of that power back. You might see her top lane again, but she doesn't really fight very well against like Lissandra.
No.
And Rumble.
No.
And Maokai.
No.
And
nope.
Who else is Irelia?
Kennen.
Yeah.
She doesn't do well against them.
So
she was doing good against the Mundos and the
yeah.
Trundles.
So she'll be okay. Like, I think that you'll see her played more than ever, but
I just know that this was a big debate with a lot of people for a while, because they're like, when Shyvana was too strong, they're like, let's just get rid of the maximum health per auto attack completely off of it. A lot of people wanted it gone, and now they're buffing it. I just think it's kind of interesting that that's how things have changed. So
well, they nerfed her tank ability, didn't they? Didn't they change how her dragon form works? She lost some tank stats or something, and then she kind of just fell out because other champions got strong.
Yeah, she just couldn't do quite enough.
The
meta changed too. The meta changed. So
buffs are always nice.
Buffs are always good. We like buffs most of the time.
This is the first patch that we've seen like more than like 3 buffs on champions, and I'm loving it. Because before, like, for like 10 patches, it's felt like all they've done is nerf stuff. I don't know why. Do you get that feeling, or am I just...
No, yeah, it's kind of felt that way. It feels like they keep tweaking down, but which is funny because they have been, and any of those champions that would have been played in the jungle felt even worse because the jungle was killing everybody. But now they're like, okay, we need to fix this, and they finally admitted that they've been doing it wrong, and that people don't want to play. Because if you go into Team Builder right now, the hardest position to find is a jungler. Why is that a thing? That shouldn't be a thing. So, it's bad.
People would rather AFK play support than play jungler right now.
Yep. Although I personally believe support's a fun position, so biggest playmaker on the team, get wrecked. Next is Singed. Fleeing fixed several cases where fleeing an enemy into mega adhesive would not immediately root them. I can see that as a problem, but I haven't seen anybody play Singed, so I don't see it as a problem. I like Singed, so, but he doesn't.
I honestly think they need to bring back his original ulti, not his original. The ulti before it got nerfed, because he was really strong because of the items in the game at that time were really, really strong. Like, do you remember like season 3 Warmogs and stuff like that? So like they nerfed those, and then they nerfed Singe.
Warmogs, Force of Nature, run around, do whatever.
Yeah, and so I don't know. He's still not going to be very good.
Yeah, the items have changed to not work for him anymore, so his kit needs help to make up for it. So. Next we have Scion changes. We'll talk about this. Q on his Smash, cost of this is going to be 45 at all ranks. Okay. The ratio is going to be a little bit higher. Instead of 0.6 to 1.8, it's going to be 0.65 to 1.95. So, a little bit of a buff on Decimating Smash. On his Roar, which is his E, instead of 35 mana cost at all ranks, 35 up to 55. I'll let Kyle go first.
I like this change because I personally think that Scion is in an okay spot. It's just the fact that when you max out E first, like you're supposed to, and you hit someone with an E, like with a minion E, it did like 300 damage, 400 damage, and like
It does
that
tickle.
should cost more than 35 mana. So I like how they're doing this because I think that you're still going to see people get like 2 or 3 points in E, but then maybe max out Q or W next instead of E, because 55 mana is a lot for something that's that spammable.
Yes. All right. So I've been playing Scion a lot. I think he's really fun. I also think as long as your team has a bunch of carries on it, including someone in the jungle who does damage, you need everyone on your team to deal damage because you should not build damage on Scion. It's not rewarding, in my opinion. He should just be so tanky, it's just stupid. You don't want to ever do anything to him, so therefore he just CCs the enemy team into the ground. So, I've been playing a lot of him, and I have been decimating lane with him, and it's because of his E. And I think you can burn through your mana really fast, actually, even with it being at 35 mana at all ranks. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, because it sure as hell hurts. It does a lot of damage. This is the correct way to fix him. The weird thing I think here, and don't get me wrong, because I think Scion's great, I don't think they needed to buff his Q, though. Is that weird? It's like they're trying to make up for it, which I don't think they needed to. I think they could have been like, you know what, guys, he's too good. Like, I think that's where they could have ended it.
But I think they're afraid that, like, they just reworked this champion, and he's good in a spot that they like him to be good in. Like, he's good as a top laner. He's good as that tank, that, like, CC up in your face kind of person. And I think that's what they, like, envisioned his character being, just, like, by the way he looks, like, by how he talks and stuff like that. So I think that he's where they want him, and they don't want to see E nerfs take him out of the game.
Well, and then
which I actually don't think that, like, you would see Scion in top over like a Maokai or like another tank top laner because of this E nerf. Because it's a lot of mana.
Yeah, it's a good amount. Now my next question is, does this do anything against Scion support? How does that affect him? Does this affect Scion support? I'm not sure it does.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not really.
Because I know that's starting to become a thing people like, because he could spam it so much, and it was good. Like, it was working as a support thing. I haven't actually played him down there. He's just great in top lane. Like I said, make sure your team has plenty of carries on it, because if you bring, like, a tanky jungle and, like, a support mage mid, you're screwed. You won't win that game.
He's basically like a better version, like a more useful version of Yorick.
How about a more useful version of Mundo?
Yeah. But, like, Mundo has percentage health damage. When I say Yorick, I just say that Yorick because,
yeah, but once
like,
Mundo
Yorick
gets in a fight, all he is supposed to do is slow somebody and be a tank.
And ult.
He can at least knock people up still in zone and still slow, and he can knock all of them up again if he uses... I mean, like, he does more, in my opinion. I love Mundo, too, but I feel like he's, like, a newer version.
Like, I just meant him in the fact that, like, if you don't have 3 other high damage characters, like... Sure, your early game is really, really good. Like, your laning phase is really, really easy and really good, like Yorick's is. But, like, if you reach that mid and late game and you don't have those 3 other, like, high damage sources, you're going to lose.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll go with it. Next on the buff patch 5.5, is Skarner. Crystal Slash damage just going up by 2 on all ranks. And then we have bonus magic damage going up by 2 on all ranks. And then his fracture damage is also going up at later ranks. Yes, helpful for Skarner. Unfortunately, his kit is still what it is.
Yeah, he's still going to get kited. He's still
if he
kind of be that one-hit wonder with his ulti. Like, he's going to do those, like, flash pole things. That's very helpful in some team fights. But I don't see Skarner being a top 1 or tier, like,
he's tier 3 or 4 still.
Yeah.
The only thing I think this does do is I think he works against team comps where they have absolutely no escape. Like
Ashe.
Yeah. Like, yes, exactly. Like, he fits against people who don't ever do anything to get away. Like, because he can't ever stay on him. But if he can get on someone, I agree. He does kind of do damage, and he does kind of stick to them. But the problem is it's really difficult to get to that point. So, That's just my only problem with Skarner still.
Especially with like the high priority AD carries now, like Graves, Callista, like these champions are highly mobile, and like Skarner just gets pooped on if the AD carry is any good at all.
Yeah. Yep. It's unfortunate. And like even with weird stuff in mid, we've seen a lot of assassins mid. Like he can't come gank that lane. That's not possible. He can probably gank Sion, but Sion's just gonna kick him. So
yeah. Oh, you're slowed, and I'm good.
Yeah. Next we have Sona power core, small change where it doesn't affect the Sentinel ward. The Callista doesn't use your trinket and all that fun stuff and consume it. That was bad. And then Crescendo, I actually like this one. Mana cost $100 ranks. I don't think ultimates should cost 200 mana. That's insane in my opinion. So I think that's just good quality.
I think it's a good fix, but like they need to tone down the AP scaling on her Q. If they want her to be a support,
yeah, I agree.
She shouldn't be able to come into lane and two-shot 80 carries with an empowered Q, auto, and then Q.
I think part of this problem though stems from the enemy support needing to deal with her support, with her harass, because I think they want her to be a damage support, like a Zyra kind of a deal. In my opinion,
if she's a poke support, you have to scrap her heal.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree, but
because like, I don't think Sona's overly strong. Like, I'd much rather have a Nami or something like that. But like, the amount of damage that she does mixed with the sustain makes her a hybrid poke sustain support champion.
Yeah.
And you should have to pick. Like, you're either support, or like you're either sustain, you're either like all in, or you're poke.
Yeah, Nami does a good job because she does a tiny bit of damage, but she doesn't really hurt. And then you have like Annie and Zyra who are supports, but there's no sustain involved with them. It is just poke. I mean, you're zoning support. So yeah, Sona's in the middle, which is why people always are confused on what you should be doing with her. She just doesn't. It's weird. Yeah, just go with
like you just like build Lich Bane and like one shot people late game.
Oh yeah, I do that.
It's just
I Lich Bane my Sona. Yeah.
Even when you're on support, it's just like, I don't know, it's dumb.
Get you to support items by Lich Bane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, what?
The goat.
The goat gets a change. Starcall fixed a bug where Starcall's bonus damage sweet spot was not multiplying the bonus damage of her AP. How sad.
It's nice, but at the same time, she's still not a reliable support.
I don't think her cooldowns don't help her, in my opinion, right now.
And the fact that I think her heal is a little messed up. Like, her heal is less than Sona's, and it costs health and mana.
I wish the range was better. Cost. I wish the range was better, too.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to be on top of your friend to use it, which is usually because they're in trouble, which means you're going to now be in trouble. It's just a weird trade-off. So, next we have Tristana, Rapid Fire. Each basic attack against a target marked with explosive charge reduces the cooldown of Rapid Fire by 1 second. It was Rapid Fire, so I said it really fast.
It is rapidly not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge thing, but good for her.
It helps though, because what is it, 5 seconds that you get rapid fire?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's like 5 or 8, and so like if you get 5 autos off on the E, it'll reset it down to a reasonable amount instead of 18 seconds or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's a good buff, but Tristana's still probably not going to be a top.
I think this is supposed to help her with some late game team fights a little bit, but yeah, it's not gonna.
Because how many late game team fights last only 5 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, it's going to take you 5 seconds to chunk through a tank.
Yeah. So next we have Trundle. I like it. On his passive, King's Tribute, range on this is going up, so he can take more effect from that, getting more health back. His Frozen Domain, the healing amplification is 20% at all ranks. Holy hell. Kind of nice.
That's interesting, though.
It is interesting.
So are you going to max?
No, you only have to put one. I don't know. What do you do?
Well, I normally max out Q.
Well, yeah, you always max Q.
And then I think I might go E. Because
once you get 1 point in Frozen Domain, who cares? Kind of a deal. I mean, you get more speed from it though, and attack speed
and attack speed. But
you might get to save that to late game.
Healing effect.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know how that'll play. Subjugate fixed a bug that caused Subjugate to only deal to steal 36% of targets armor massacres instead of 40.
I don't know how you figure that out, but good.
Yeah, I mean they could have probably snuck that in.
Math is hard,
but you know. Next we have the Urgot. Yeah, so Urgot's a champion. What? What?
We're gonna fix Urgot, and this is our proposal.
Yeah. All right, so to fix Urgot, here's what you do. What you do is you nerf his base shield, and then you give him a mana ratio because you're gonna build mana on him. Okay, and then on his hyperkinetic position reverser, which is another reason why he could never be an LCS champion, because there's no way on the fly a shoutcaster's saying that. But cooldown on it at later ranks is just less. I'm just gonna scroll down now.
I just hate Urgot.
Yeah.
I don't hate, like, I like the idea of Urgot, but, like, he's just so bad. And they don't fix him.
They don't fix him right. And I don't know the right way, but
they're basically just promoting his like man immune frozen heart like BS build. Like, if he's gonna be taking top, that's fine. If he's gonna be taking AD carry where he's a marksman,
yeah, that's what they call him.
Then this just like hurts him even more.
I'm going on. Varus.
They should give his ultimate. They should make his ultimate make him invulnerable for like 2 seconds, but like he'd be able to move.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm skipping on. I don't even care anymore. Nobody plays him. Varus next. What?
You ever play ARAMs and get against a Varus?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rito.
Yeah. So now begins the cooldown at the start rather than when the arrow fires of his piercing arrow. So
you might as well just forfeit if you get into a game, an ARAM against Varus.
That's like the one mode he's really good in.
Yeah.
I played him in a normal game the other day. It was actually really fun. I don't think he's terrible. He just doesn't have a good escape is his problem. He can't do anything with it.
He's skarnerable.
Yeah, that's the problem. And this is why Varus isn't played. Other than that, I don't mind Varus at all. I think he actually has the best standard attack animation in the game for AD carry. It is so good.
Nice.
I might play him later. He's fun. He just doesn't work against teams that understand that you can't go anywhere fast. So, next we're getting some changes to TheAngryHoneyBadger. Baleful Strike, missile speed going up. I think that's a good one personally. It's been so slow for too long. And they fixed a bug fix on it too, where it failed to cast CC during cast, which is good. And then the event horizon, delay before the wall appears is only going to be 0.5 seconds now. And the warning particle display is on cast instead of not after it. So I think this helps him a little bit. I like both of the changes for just general quality changes, and I think the delay thing might find a better evening or a better like even position, because I played against one the other day. I don't think I got stunned by him once. Like once they put it down, you're like, all right, I'll just hang out in it. Like,
or like I just they need to make it short enough that if you're walking and you choose not to flash, you get stunned. Or you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't use a move to get out of it, then you're stunned.
Oh, that doesn't work. That's bad.
Why?
Because
like a 0.25 or something, like something that you can like make an on the fly decision.
No, but you can't do that constantly. Like he can cast it every 15 seconds. Like you'd have to flash every 15 seconds.
Like Graves' E or something like that. Like where you can or like LeBlanc's W, like something that you can outplay or like play out of it. But like, or like Vi's Q.
So you're saying if he gets it down and you don't do anything to get out of it, you get stunned?
Yeah.
That doesn't work on like half of the mids.
He doesn't. What do you mean?
Like, if you're Orianna, there's no way you could ever get out of it. So you're always going to get stunned. You're always going to die.
So then Viger would be strong against Orianna.
No, that's the most broken concept ever.
But he wouldn't. He still doesn't have obscene damage like he used to.
No, but every gank would. No, he'd be the king of any kind of gank. You'd make them burn their flash the first time you play it. You'd take it at level 1. Like,
but he wouldn't even be as good as he was before.
But he could 5-man stun in the jungle without anybody doing any
he wouldn't be as good as he was before he got changed.
I disagree.
Still, because it was immediate.
No, because you're guaranteeing the stun regardless. Last time somebody would play it, it doesn't mean he would get the stun though.
What? No, I'm talking about like before they changed him at all, when it was immediate. When
Yeah,
Event
I
Horizon was
understand that.
immediate.
But if he put it down and you didn't walk into the wall and you reacted to not walking into the wall, you were fine. And you didn't have to
But
burn a flash to get out of it.
good Vikers don't miss that. They have the range indicators put up and they put it on top of you, or at least they used to.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. I'm okay with it slowing someone, but stunning them is absurd.
Well, it's not that long of a stun. It's like
no, it is a
1.5
long
seconds.
stun. That's the problem.
It's like 1.5, 2
It's the
seconds.
most broken.
It's no big deal.
No, it's just a bad idea. Next, Vi. I'm skipping.
Can Q be a lock on again? Okay.
Vi is gonna get a movement speed nerf, just 5, and assault and battery physical damage reduced at earlier ranks. Vi is probably the strongest jungler in my opinion. Right now.
Yeah.
Just in genericness, she's always been good, and because of everyone else falling off and other changes, she's just remained strong because she has her shield, which helps keep her strong or alive, and other reasons. I still don't know if we.
Every team comp.
Yeah, I still don't know if she really needed a nerf, but whatever. I mean, the jungle changes probably will help make up for that coming up. So, but yeah, we get it. She's strong, but I don't think she's like the world's greatest, like ever. I mean, but she's probably the strongest jungler. So I guess
she was
it
good
makes sense.
because she didn't have a weakness. Like she could farm really well, she could clear jungle
You
really
can
well, didn't
invade
take
her,
a lot
though,
of
early.
damage. Yeah, but like, okay, invade early and then just get pooped on after 4. Like,
yeah,
my
I'm
point
just
is
saying.
she can clear really fast. She can,
she can.
survive really easily, and then her like ganks are high impact, no matter what level. Like you flash Q, dead.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like I don't think it's. Yeah, they're not that big in nerfs. So
5 movement speed and 0 damage at level 16 is
no,
not.
I'm
that big of a
I'm
deal.
laughing off the movement speed one. That one's 5. Yeah, I take move speed quins. I don't.
Yes, more Victor buffs.
Victor fixed a bug where the detonation on upgraded death rate was canceling Victor's auto attacks. That's pretty big.
I hate Victor with a passion, but I love him.
I like him. I don't play him.
I like his character. I like how he is and like all of his animations and stuff. But like, I played Annie the other day and got like I got death rate, like double death rate, and queued and dead.
Yeah,
he does a lot of damage.
He does tickle, but I think you have to actually make plays with him though.
Well, he's definitely a skill champion.
Yeah,
is what I mean.
Yeah, bad Victors are not rewarded with anything.
Yeah, it's not like LeBlanc where you press Q and W and half-life somebody.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
Next we got the Volibear. His frenzy refunds.
I brought this up before we talked about it, and I think this is the biggest change of the patch.
So
like champion-wise.
Yeah. So on his frenzy, refunds half of the cooldown if used on a monster. So he gets to do it a lot.
All good things.
He gets to do it a lot. So he's gonna clear better and take less damage.
And who cannot just fall in love with that dance? Okay, let's move on.
Yep. Xin Battle Cry. He gets base better health healing. This will help with his survivability early, because it's on the early parts of it. Not huge, but a little bit. It will definitely help. And then on his charge, more damage late game. I don't understand the point of this, but okay. Like,
I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I think Xin Zhao's always been a solid jungle choice, just always. If you executed him correctly, it just helps him. So.
Well, he has a level, essentially a level 1 if you wanted it, a level 1 gap close slow.
That's pretty nice.
He's pretty good.
Not a lot of champions do that, by the way. Level 1 gap close slow.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, I like him. He's fun. I've always recommended him.
Can I have a little preface to this next change?
Go for it.
It took him 1.5 years. Go ahead.
So, on Zach, on the W of Unstable Matter, picking up a chunk now briefly gives Zach a reservoir of CDR, even if he casts W within the 1 second following pickup of a chunk. And, yeah, on his E, Elastic Slingshot, knockback duration 1 second, set at 0.5.
Zach, when he first came out, was drastically OP.
Holy hell yeah.
And then they nerfed him into the ground, and he really hasn't been played at any level since then. Correct?
I saw him once or twice in the LCS when they did little tweaks to bring him back, but I believe both teams lost. I mean, he doesn't do enough.
Yeah. So, any buffs that you can get to a champion that isn't played at all, the good things.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody should be viable. So.
I don't know if everybody. I don't want to see like Teemo.
Teemo's viable. What are you talking about? People are just bad with him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Zillion Kime Bomb. Cooldown reduction on it. 2 seconds early, which is pretty nice. And then it just goes down to 8, which is normal, because you'll get CDR. Anyways, but early on, I like this, because I played him, and I like him. It's fine. But you do wait a long time in between doing nothing, which makes you feel like you're not doing anything. So, and with how much people are actually missing time bombs now, since it's not lock-on ability, it's probably a little bit better. So,
I actually really like his kit.
Yeah, it's good.
Over what it was.
Yeah. Like, the other reason this is nice too is because 10 seconds is more impactful than you think. Because the game I played, I maxed them out wrong. That was my fault. You're probably not maxing out time bomb.
Nope.
Depending on your lane, you could, but you're probably maxing out your 99% slow you want.
It probably depends on the AD carry. Like if you're doing like a Graves bot lane, you're probably going to do the slow.
Yeah.
But like if you're doing like a an Ashe or like a poke kind of
Caitlyn.
AD carry, then
Caitlyn might not need that.
Then Q would probably be the way you want to go.
Yeah. So yeah, those are champion changes, match texture updates, Cho, Zhan, Tark, War. I'm excited about the Warwick one. Grey Warwick finally looks cool.
Oh, by the way,
in case
if you guys didn't check out Andrew's video on Curse, he talks about 2 of those skins.
I do. That's true. Also, if you don't like how long the patch notes is, I do.
Go to Curse.
I do a 1-minute one. It's like TLDR, but not that, and better. So nailed it. Called it. Haters gonna hate. Next, we actually have the addition of a new item in the game called Luden's Echo. Sounds like a game. It sounds like a indie title.
It sounds like a game that I just played today.
Yeah, it does. It's not that game. So Needle's the large rod, the wisp, some gold, 3,100 gold cost, 120
static shiv.
AP,
Boom.
7% movement speed, and your passive is static shiv.
So
summarized.
What I wish that they would have done is I wish they would have made the passive attack damage, physical damage. Because static shiv is AP or is magic damage.
I hear what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying.
Because that would be kind of cool. That's going to stack with Void Staff and Sorcerer Shoes. Just let that sink in.
No, I know, but this means you don't have to build other items to stay against the defense. We'll see how long this changes. I see this item getting changed. So
they say it's basically to make up for Death Firegrass on Akali and Karthus.
I wonder how that would work on Mord. He likes movement speed. He's good with it.
I see a Mord game incoming.
I see a Mord game incoming as well. I like Mord. Sweeping Lens. Cool. 70 seconds instead of 60 plus level 9. Thank you. Unskinned Sight and Vision Wards now have spawn and death animations to provide better feedback. Don't get distracted.
They actually already started introducing these, like with the Heart Ward that came out for Valentine's Day. Like it would like break apart and like fall apart, kind of a thing. So I'm glad that they're doing it with like all of the wards instead of just like the new ward.
What's gonna happen with my banana Soraka ward?
It's obviously gonna
peel.
It's the only option.
It is. Next we have Bammy's Cinder. So it's a ruby crystal plus 600 gold, total cost 1,000, 300 health, and then a unique passive that deals 5 damage plus 1 per champion level magic damage to nearby enemies, dealing 50% bonus damage to minions and monsters. AoE clear.
This is your step 2 for your jungle enhancement, like enchantment. So this will be your like brutalizer or your double dagger for the next item.
Which is the Cinder Hulk enchantment, which now has replaced Juggernaut.
But it basically is Juggernaut.
So this is now in it, but you get that now unique passive. You get the 25% bonus health.
They honestly could have included the tenacity on it.
Yes. Now that is gone, and we'll see if it comes back, but I don't think it will.
Because tanks need to have tenacity, and it was really good to get Ninja Tabby on those tanks.
Yes.
So I don't know how this is going to affect it, but I do like this enchantment over the Juggernaut enchantment.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. So take note. And then next we have obviously a change to the Sunfire Cape because it now builds from the Cinder. So Chain Vest
Instead of
Cinder,
a giant spell.
Giant spell, yeah, Cinder. Everything's unchanged. It's the same. It just builds differently. So it costs different a little bit in between, but so overall costs the same. Unique. It's a unique now. The burn is a unique passive. You can't stack these. So don't try to.
By these, he means Sunfire Cape and Cinder Helm enchantment.
Yeah.
Cider Helm. Cider Helm.
Not that one.
Cider Helk. Hulk. Whatever.
Yeah. So yes, just take note. So next, Raptor Cloak, 40 armor. Also, Point Runner. You now gain movement speed when near fallen turrets as well. They don't even have to be alive anymore. So, buffs. That's kind of actually really interesting.
Probably not that big of a deal. Like
not huge because nobody buys it, but still okay.
Because the next item we talk about is useless.
Portal is getting some buffs, but guess what? It's still bad. Cool. Next. It doesn't fit the game. The game is team fights right now. No one's split pushing. Let alone, why would a tank split push?
Well, or like
a tank.
Why would Jax or like why would Tryndamere Zed or Yi or Nasus get this?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Actually, Nasus is the only one who could get it. But yeah, they would all get something with a sheen, or they just burn money into those potions that deal more damage to turrets.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why this doesn't make any sense. So it gets the Point Runner passive now too. Whatever. Ohm-Wrecker, Point Runner passive, obviously going to now be affected with near fallen turrets. Righteous Glory, getting more health. I like it. Good item. Super OP.
Whenever you can get more health is good.
Yes.
Because armor and magic resistance don't do a whole lot when people get Last Whisper and Void Staff. So, always good.
Yeah, health is always a good thing. Can't ever talk down health. And Banner of Command, unchanged. They just wanted to talk about it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good job.
Inhibitor turrets. Global team gold on inhibitor turrets, down. Global team experience on inhibitor turrets, non-existent. Nerfed. Nexus turrets, global team also down, and experience also non-existent. Shield on the turrets, removed. Removed for
the mid lane.
The mid lane. Top and bottom lane turret shield health. Now only 30 for the turret. Inner turret health is now up though. So it gets more health, but it loses the shield.
I didn't think it was a good idea in the first place.
It's really interesting. I want to see what it does. It's gonna be weird for a little bit. Minion health has changed a little bit. Just the way it goes up. I don't know if we're gonna really notice it. Those are kind of underneath. And then jungle camps. This is the big one in this patch also. Jungle camps deal less damage across the board for most of them.
That's very good.
And you're getting a little bit more gold from the wolves.
Because honestly, who the hell took wolves?
Me, a little bit, but not too much.
You'd go Gromp.
Yeah,
or
you'd skip things.
Krugs or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And then you go to your red buff or blue buff, and then you go to the other buff.
Yep.
But now you might stop and take wolves, maybe.
I think they're easy to kill, so that's the reason why I would take them. But yeah, now they're easy to kill and worth more gold. Yay! Raptors do less damage is a big one.
The jungle camp, like the jungle doing less damage, is a very good thing because it'll open paths for champions that weren't even mentioned in the patch to get playability.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be good. I'm excited about that. Gromp buffs. Gromp poison. Instead of 4 plus 8 times throw levels, 10 plus 10% of bonus health.
So another buff to tank junglers.
Yes. Which is nice.
Just as, like, I want to throw out an example. Sejuani is a champion that's not mentioned in the patch that I think will be, if not high 2 tier jungler this patch because of these changes.
Yeah, she's going to be in a good spot. I've been playing her more too. She's fun.
I like her.
Rift Scuttler Speed Boost. The Rift Scuttler Speed Shrine now affects pets.
Here comes the Tibbers.
Here comes the Tibbers. Wow, super fast Voidlings. That would be scary.
Okay.
Dragon buff.
Counter
For spectating. Yeah. Cool.
I don't. Oh, okay. Just the buff. Okay.
Yeah, just the buff. End of Summoner's Rift beta.
What?
Yeah.
It was still in beta?
Yeah. Visual rebalance. Warming up tones, value range, map details, lighting and shadows. I'm going to summarize that with things are pretty. Victory and defeat banners are now animated instead of just fading in.
Good. They used to be so cool.
They were really cool.
And now they look like poop, but now they're going to fix them. So good job, Riot.
Landing page articles and upcoming skins.
We actually talked about, or we did a video about this, or not a video.
We played on the PB and talked about them. So here's mine. I'll go across them. Elderwood Bard. I don't think it looks as cool as his normal skin.
I think that the splash art looks really cool, but then the actual in-game looks like a potato.
Yeah, I don't care for it. Second, Head Hunter Akali.
Splash art and in-game model both look very good.
Yes, they look good. I like them.
Sound effects are kind of annoying.
The sound effects are really interesting, but I think it's pretty decent.
Well, it matches the like Headhunter Caitlyn and the Headhunter Nidalee sound effects, but it's like you can spam Q so much that it's just like like it just kind of.
Yeah, you're like, okay, stop Q. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. And then Special Agent Xin Chao.
Well, the splash art looks pretty cool.
Splash is cool.
Because he's like killing.
The recall's cool.
The skin is poop.
The skin is boring. It's just a dude in a suit.
It's just Xin Zhao in a suit.
Yeah,
what about what happened to
Galio?
Galio.
I don't know. It must not be done yet. There's a Galio skin coming. There's a bunch of skins coming, to be fair. There's a bunch of hilarious ones that were actually announced today.
Oh, I'm so glad that they're coming back with some Earth stuff.
They're so funny. Well, it's because Earth's coming back. So.
Is he?
Yeah, Earth mode's coming back.
Oh, for April Fools?
Yeah.
Dude, I liked Earth mode. It was like their only good.
It was all right. Yeah, it was one of their better ones for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the patch notes. Those are the things that happen in the patch for 5.5. Let us know what you guys think. I'm okay with this patch. I've only seen a few people react to it. Mostly pros. Believe Doublelift thinks it's gonna do really weird things to professional play, which I kind of think I agree with.
Well, they completely changed the jungle. It's going to be the same thing.
Well, they changed the jungle, and the turret things are going to be...
Oh, yeah.
Those should be pretty big for objective. Yeah, I think that's a big one. So.
Because why did they initially put the shields in to stop people from
it's like
pushing turrets
slow the siege
at the very beginning?
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, man.
Now they're saying the siege was too hard, so they're going to just get rid of it. I don't know. It's really interesting. So we'll see how it goes.
Just get rid of it after, like, 10 minutes or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, have it diminish as game time goes on.
Yeah.
Scale it up to 20 minutes. Yeah.
What is your overall takeaway?
So, I'm really excited to see jungle diversity hopefully come back. My biggest complaint about a handful of junglers, including people who got really angry at me for saying negative things about Evelynn. I like Evelynn as a champion, but she couldn't jungle super well, and therefore she had no impact. I'm assuming with these changes and hoping that with just the little things, with some of the items, the changes with gold and damage that the camps are doing, just all these little things will help champions like Evelynn and many others have at least some sort of presence in the jungle again.
I agree completely with what you said about Evelynn. Like, I hadn't heard anybody talk about Evelynn because I hadn't seen her. But, like, if I played Evelynn, I would imagine that you'd take your 2 buffs and then just sit in lanes. And just repeatedly gank. And you, like, wouldn't jungle at all.
Yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
Because if you did jungle at all, then, like, if you did try to jungle, you would just get crushed.
Yeah, it was not rewarding. No, I tried it a few times and I was like, oh my god, I can't live. I was not living very well in the jungle. It's not a good quality place for her to hang out in. And because of that, you would try to jungle more, but you'd fall behind. You literally could only gank and steal lane XP to stay in the game, which is not rewarding. That's not exactly how it should be.
My 2 biggest takeaways is Bard. Played him. He's gonna be amazing. He's gonna change the game from the support position. He's gonna be like an Afro move support where like he wants to make the plays kind of out support, you know? And then the second thing is there's nothing on Fizz.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Fizz is drastically overpowered right now because his W scales per hit and its percentage health. So they need to either half it or like make it like on the first 3 hits or just some like 2 hits or something, because like Triforce, Blade of the Rune King, tank, Fizz destroys anybody.
He does kind of murder right now. Yeah, I have noticed that. Bad ones are bad still, which is good. But good Fizzes are doing crazy work in the jungle.
Godly. I played 1 game of Jungle Fizz today and was like 8-0-2 at like 15 minutes.
Well, considering he can drop aggro in the jungle and like like he does a lot of stuff that helps
get over walls, gap close, slow.
Yeah, he does a lot. Yeah.
Nothing.
No. Okay.
I honestly think that they do these patches like they're working on 5.7 right now, or like they're finishing up 5.6, let's say.
Yeah.
And then I would venture to guess that we get Fizz fixes in the next patch.
Yeah, we might.
I think they're just that far out.
Yeah, they could be. They do hot patch stuff occasionally, but they don't usually need to unless it's like breaking the game.
Yeah, like dunking crashes the game or some shit.
Yeah.
Like I saw a thing about Soraka's Star Call. It was like before 5.4 came out, and they're like, we couldn't get it in this patch. Just like it's like a week before the patch comes out. What do you mean you can't get it in the patch?
Yeah, it's maybe they're just getting so many crashes with the changes. But I mean, it's I don't know how it works exactly, but so
yeah.
I'm just glad they actually do patch their game. So
my 2 are Bard and Fizz.
Yeah, those are pretty big. Yeah, I think just big right now. Just quality of life changes for so many junglers.
Don't they have the mid-season? Like, don't they usually come out with like a big mid-season patch?
Sometimes, just depends.
So maybe that's coming out.
Well, mid-season would be like patch 10 though, patch 9 or 10.
Would it?
Yeah. Because we made it up to patch almost 420 last year, but that was in preseason when it finally came out. We made it to patch like 421, 422, something like that. So.
Well, I mean, like, they always come out with that big patch, like that they want to play Worlds on. Or, like, you know, they come out with that big patch and then they do like a whole bunch of little patches,
tiny little bug fix patches
to get the Worlds patch up.
That'll usually happen in the middle to end of the summer split. Yeah.
So we got a while.
We got a little bit of time. Yeah, we got like 3 months till that happens. 4 months.
I'm just getting all hyphy for changes.
Oh, who doesn't? So, but yeah, that's gonna be the patch. Let us know what you guys think, and we will see all of you later next time. All the things.
5.6. Goodbye.
Goodbye.